Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Greg. I'm going to go over an asset called Litecoin. And nobody likes Litecoin. They don't, well, a lot of people do like Litecoin, but I think you might have a little bit better opportunity here in Litecoin than you would in Bitcoin, guys. If you look at Litecoin's chart, it looks a lot better than Bitcoin's chart. I'll tell you that. See, but the deal is with Litecoin is that, if somebody bought Litecoin in here 2017 for $29, or let's say 43 bucks, 5 years later, they're basically at the same price, maybe a little bit of money. So it wasn't a very good long-term strategy for Litecoin. I know the reasons why I don't recommend holding on to cryptocurrencies long-term, especially highly volatile assets like Litecoin and other cryptocurrencies. But I'm going to go over this overall picture of Litecoin. And there's a gentleman named Tony on my channel. He's a pretty smart guy. I've actually talked to him. I've actually, talked to him, not just through Twitter and stuff like that. So he's a pretty smart guy. And I was actually looking at Litecoin, and I decided to let me take a look at this, a little bit closer look at Litecoin, and see what is going on with it. So what I said is that Litecoin is in probably this either ending or starting diagonal and consolidation area that'll probably come up to here, correct, and then it could do another blast off. And it's not unreasonable to think that, because this whole area right here, you see this area right here? I'll show you, it could be very similar for Litecoin. Potentially, it could be something like it did over here for a year and a half. You see what it did for a year and a half? It was over here, went sideways for a year and a half, and then blast off right there. Okay, so that could happen with something with Litecoin. In my opinion. So, however, what you want to do, or what I would want to do, not financial advice, is get the biggest meat of the move. So, as an example, I'll show you some here, Litecoin. What you can do with Litecoin is, like, you want to get the biggest meat of the move. So let's say you enter in right there, and then you go up and say you exit right there. So 276% right there. Let's say you enter in on this leg right there. You're like, okay, it's bullish. And then you write it up maybe to the trend line. You're like, I'm exiting out of trend line. There's 480%. And let's just say you could do something over here in similar nature and then ride this up and maybe exit at the trend line. That's 584%. Okay. Now, I know most of what you're thinking are probably right now is like, come on, Greg, you really think Litecoin's going to do that? You have the possibility. You have the possibility, guys. So here's the thing is that, let's see, the Fed's going to raise rates in December. Probably will do it again in February. Litecoin be playing around, do a correction, and then do something like this. So let's take a look at this leg. You see this leg right here? Look at that. Came down here. This was February. You see that? That's February. Is that February? Yeah, March of 20. So the March 2020 crash, and it went up into this leg and corrected it. Okay. So for a grand total of, let's say, 100 and what is that? 203 days. That's about 200 days. Let's just call it 200 days. So it went up right there, 200 days. Okay. So let's take a look at this right here. You see this move up and come back down. You see over here, you got a wick, hit the trend, right? Up, back down. It's going up a little bit. You take that little thing right here. Look at this right here. You see this? Okay. You got another one, it looks sort of like that. You see? Okay. So what could happen, let me get rid of those, is that crypto market might come down a little bit. So like so with Litecoin. You see it had that leg over there? So let's say maybe Litecoin could come like that, or maybe deeper or something like that. You just might have to watch the waves. And then Litecoin comes back down and it can make that trek back up like so, guys. So let me clean that up a little bit. So like so. Okay. So it comes back down, and then, finally Litecoin can start making the moves like back up to there, or a move like so, guys. Potentially, 500% for Litecoin. So let me get rid of that. So I'm just looking at the patterns right now here on the weekly chart. So it was a good idea to zoom out, because this right here is definitely finishes correction. So here's Litecoin actually is stronger than other cryptocurrencies in some respects. Okay. You see this three-way move that it did? And see, Litecoin didn't break that low. There's some other cryptos that made that move. Okay. They made that move like so. The other cryptos made the similar type move, a three-wave swing, and they popped, but they broke their low. Okay. Making it look like more like a five-wave swing. I don't think it's a five-wave swing that they did. I think it's they're just weaker cryptos is all that it was. Okay. And they got to go back down and actually find their bottom. So what I'm saying is that you have a potential right here with Litecoin, where Litecoin made a bottom right here, potentially. This is way too similar over here to this one, and just wait for it. And then it could probably get out of there. So you look at the time. So this was 200 days, right? So right there, 200 days. And then that's 168 days. So let's say it goes out 200 days. So let's go with the same amount of time. Look at that. Right about January 23. So you got about maybe 30 days or something like that, or check it out, or it could just start ripping out of there. I don't think so. I think it actually would do a little bit more of a correction, potentially even to 68 or something like that with Litecoin. So, and Litecoin would be making this move, in my opinion. I'm still sticking to my original thesis. Okay. I haven't changed my thesis with Litecoin. Some other guys did. All right. It's making a move right here. One is that second wave. Here's the third wave. Here's the fourth wave. And you go up and make that fifth wave. Just like so. It's all down here in the weekly RSI, guys. See? Bam on that wave. So that wave has more momentum. Back down. This wave might have a little bit less momentum. Okay. Doesn't necessarily mean it will, because it's in a diagonal. Okay. So then you want to exit out, because then Litecoin is going to come back down. You don't want to be like this person over here. You don't want to be this person. I'm going to get into Litecoin. I'm going to hold long term because it's the future. And they're still in the same spot, right? You don't want to do that. Not with this asset. You would get in here and exit up here. As a matter of fact, up here is where you would short it. Back down. And then you get back in over here. Okay? And just pay your taxes along the way. And the reason I suggest that too is because of your mental health. If you get an asset and you go up 500% and you watch it go all the way back down to where it came from, as an example, that's very hard on your mental health. That's like watching a $100,000 bank account go from 100,000 back down to almost zero. You don't want to do that. It's not recommended. At least I don't recommend it. Not financial advice. If you made it all the way to the end, do me a huge favor. Drop a like. Hit the subscribe button. Peace.